live, so
People might
it
just
is
start
not
thinking
me.
you're a ghost lady.
Definitely not me.
Oh my word, oh my word.
Just needed to put it out there, just in case people start thinking it's
Yeah.
me.
Also, in case people start saying, obviously I don't sound like Michi. You can tell I'm definitely not Michi. All right. We are still trying to locate Toya Delazy. We are talking about having a chat with her about her latest projects and endeavors. Of course, Toya Delazy, who is a rapper, producer, a songwriter. She's currently in the US. Hi.
Hello, Toya.
Hello, hi guys.
How you doing?
I'm great. Hope you're having a grand rising today.
We are. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Sure.
Yeah, welcome
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Definitely. Welcome to Wake and Bake, Toya.
Yo, bro, I'm woke, eh?
Woke, right?
I haven't baked it, but yeah.
Yeah, to bake. We baking. This is the session, of course. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for those who don't know who Toya Delazy is, of course, Bon La Toya, Nontogozo Buthelezi. Yeah, she is, of course, a singer, rapper, pianist, dancer, and producer. She is as multi-hyphenate as they come. That is, of course, Toya Delazy, who we are talking to today. Very interesting, Toya Delazy. You even coined a subgenre, if I may say, it's Afro Rave.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. But Afro rave is a genre that celebrates indigenous languages through rave. So rave sounds like left field bass, drum and bass, and techno. So I just felt like, especially our languages, they haven't really been prevalent in rave. And since Ngila Peshe, I started being really homesick, and also just the history of being a Zulu, meeting people here that really don't know their history. Most people of color just know they were slaves, so it was nice to share that and have that point, and also bond with the music this side. I felt like I found a way to communicate, and I'm hoping that anyone else wants to express themselves with the genre can do the same.
Yeah, definitely. Can you please take it to, I was having a chat. I for the longest of time, I didn't know that you can speak Zulu, even Xhosa, because when I was listening
Zulu.
I think I was like most of the time. I don't know what's this me being ignorant.
She says mfethu now. This is real Zulu. It's not like Joburg Zulu.
Yeah, for real. I think maybe. Because I could tell even from the project Afro Rave, especially the latest one, using a lot of clicks, a combination of Xhosa and Zulu.
Zulu kodwa engikhulumayo ngoba ucala ucabele ngicaba amacaceke isiZulu leso. It's just because of the words I'm using, and I'm playing with it's like a drop of water. So like the whole song is called Vuga, so I just go very deep with my art. I use sounds, I use everything, I use memories, and so it's hard to explain, but I think you guys can hear it.
Yeah, definitely.
What I mean.
You seem very iconoclastic and somewhat eclectic in your swag, also in terms of your appearance, your fashion sense, your music, and everything. And also coming from a royal family, the Zulu royal family right here in South Africa. How did the family and the community receive you? Because you're not the typical Zulu girl, and I'm using the word typical not in a disrespectful sense.
No, fully. It's been different. I remember the first time Kogim Vunulo, at my granddad's 90th, and I Kogi Besh. Woo! Like it was all over the news. People didn't understand, also. It's just one of those things, like they don't understand sometimes self-expression, and I'm hoping ukuthi ngale album zokwazi ukuthi abantu nje just take a step back and angazi, not have preconceptions about people, but learn to understand people and know people and allow people to be.
Yeah, definitely. You started really getting into music quite at an earlier age. I see classical piano at a tender age, and also started experimenting with jazz at around 9 or so as you become a teenager. Take us through that. Was it a family thing? Do you come from a musical background, or was it just you falling in love with music?
So So it's a bit of both because I do come from a musical background. My great grandmother is Princess Makoko, Zulu, and she's the first indigenous composer in Africa, well recorded.
Wow.
So umculo nje wawukhona ekhaya, but by the time I was born, she was not there.
Yeah.
And music became a personal journey for me. At Skoleni, I was 9 years old when I started piano, classical, and for me it was just nje a form of expression already from that age, like I just liked it. The piano was the main instrument. Abanye bedlala ama triangles. So I was like, when I'm 9, I want to learn. So nobody forced me. It was just really love. And then I guess when I got to 18 years old, I was like, what am I going to do? I'd rather follow something that makes me happy already. And then I realized, okay, maybe, when I first got paid playing in the pub, even though it was $20, I realized I could live from this.
Yeah.
So I just started working on the fields, and I studied jazz, Hawati, and that's what's happened.
That was pretty dope. Let's talk about the transition after 2016 when you left Sony and decided to embark on the journey of being an independent artist. Take us through the change and also transitioning going to London. How did that really impact you as a person and also as an artist?
Yeah, so 2015, I was like, it felt like I'd hit the ceiling, I've done all the gigs, won the summers. It's like, what more?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me, I think it's more than just uktsara, ngiphuza utshwala, ngithenga imoto. I was just like, I felt like I just didn't know much about life,
Yeah.
I didn't know a lot, and I just in South Africa, ngazuthi akwasifundisi nje okuningi, especially as umuntu mbisholo. I just felt underdeveloped, like being number 1 on 5FM. What does it mean for the rest of the world, for example?
Yeah.
So I just was like, hey, let me travel a bit. And I started in in New York. We're there 3 months, and then Los Angeles, because I was like, maybe I wanted to see which place could work for me. I didn't like America. Football, so I was just like, hey, let's try. Truth be spoken, boy.
Yeah.
I was like, let's try England, because the history, everything that's happened Sinje is also because of the influence of Europe. And if there's any way to fix it, where it all began. But also all the amazing artists that I love that have come from here. Amy Winehouse, Adele. I mean, Jimi Hendrix came from the States and he made it here. Queen, there was a lot of people that I really admire. And so I was just like, let me do that. And also I've also seen, even in Africa, most Nigerians, once they come to UK, I was like, Nilana. Once they come here, next thing, they're popping like super international, So it was a learning curve for me. Literally, for the past 6 years, I've just been learning and growing, and that's how I found the craft. So, yeah, so over 6 years, then I just eventually stayed here. I was playing in pubs here in the UK. I was flipping burgers at some point because I couldn't even click them the way they speak.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. So I was like, I'm going to go to a burger joint just so I can have constant contact with them. Even though it is English, but I don't know. It was just a bit of a culture shock.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's been a long journey of fully investing myself in the culture to understand. And it's taught me a lot because, here it's a melting pot. Pretty much like South Africa, but I think it's a bit healthier.
Right.
Because
in what sense?
Everyone, Bangladesh, Pakistan,
Mm-hmm.
Somalia, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, everybody's here. So it's just nice to, there's a very big African presence here. So I just learned, I feel like, how to be a global citizen, living this side. So, yeah.
Interesting. After beginning to perform in Zulu, you quickly caught the attention of producers such as Raf Riley, who was impressed by your natural stage presence, also working with Raf on the club ready single, Oma. Take us through that decision to really incorporate the whole Afro sound and isiZulu, Singuni, and also when I listen to your songs and your music, I hear a bit of Deben Kom. The higher tempo. The who are those guys from Durban? Destruction Boys type of feel. I hear a lot of elements with Malum Kuket. Okay, Malum Kuket. You can easily work on a tune with Malum Kuket. So the decision to merge Iravi and a whole lot of stuff, because your music is quite futuristic.
Oh, ngiyathokoza.
Didn't you feel like angeke bawuthole in the UK or in London? In as much as you're doing music for the global market, but the fact that you now reside in the UK.
Yeah. Okwamanje phela.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? When I started, I wasn't sure now, because when I started, it was still the time where, I mean, it's only recently where African music now is the thing. You know, wonke umuntu seyathanda, wonke umuntu sedlala piano. You know, like, we come from far where we really haven't been represented. In South Africa, it wasn't until recently where Zulu music, you can hear it on radio. Most of, I'm a top 10 Yorkland, it used to be in English, So even when I came this side, the first song, Goma, I was like, there was a time where we were trying to submit, This was like at least 2018. When I met Rough Riley, and little did I know this guy is so lit, like. Yeah. Anyway, I met him, he loved the sound, and we did the first song, Goma, and then I was almost pushed to do it in English. Yeah. And when I did it, I was just like, you know what, it's either I do it for real and so bona pambil, I was just like, I'm not going to fake it. I can't do an English version. It's like, this is a cultural exchange. It's more than just music. Yeah, the words behind these songs, once translated, are very powerful. So it's a cultural exchange. So I just was like, and I think that's what brought us here. I think that was the jump, and it's a risk as well, because my savings, basically, because it's been rough,
Really?
So I was just like really investing everything into this genre and just keeping my head above water and sync deals here and there, but it's been a journey.
Yeah, interesting.
As you see, I haven't been in the scene quite a bit. Never mind, Corona. All the jobs are just done.
Yeah.
So it's been a blessing to actually push through and actually come through. It was really make or break. So I'm really glad we can be talking now.
Definitely.
Actually.
Talking about Corona, your latest project, the Afro Rave Volume 1, you made it during Corona, and I heard you collaborated with artists all over the globe. How was it like making the project, from the fact that obviously Besugu locked down, and also that you couldn't necessarily be in studio with the producers and the artists? How was making the project?
Yeah, I think my experience as a producer and a musical director really was pushed, and it showed there, because, for instance, one of the songs, I'm working with Young Bazo. Young Bazo, if you guys will know, it's the grandchildren of Ladysmith Blackman Bazo. Oh. So at Howard College. So we've always been friends, and he's watching what I'm doing overseas. And I bring him on a few projects. I put they were doing something where basically for the first time Zulu onomatopoeia and sounds are on a game, and we got them to do that, and I was directing them. I flew down and we recorded everything, and they also even nominated for at the Game Sync Awards for soundtrack of the year. So I've been working with them. So it was crazy though, because at least I had to connect with the Babuile, and then you'd organize the squad. And then, for Vuga, for example, literally, Babe Vuga, from 3 Mlazi.
Yeah.
Catching a taxi to get to studio at 5. Nami, I have to be awake this side, because I have to make sure that everything is correlated. So technology really helped us, and it taught us a lot. Although, sometimes Z data, but we made sure that boys had data, and once that was sorted, technology is the way. Honestly, there's no need for anyone to leave at any point, because it's not a biggie. So I learned that skill, and it was incredible. And even now I'm collaborating with people. I'm looking forward to working with Lemon and Herb, and or DJ Thaksin. I don't mind about the bigness of the producer, as long as if we connect.
The craft.
Yeah.
Asri Resurrection ingoma yako. I'm looking at the aesthetics. They are quite indigenous and as well thought-provoking. How was it just making the song, and what inspired the theme? Of course, from a musical, lyrical, and production, and also combining the music video. My aesthetics were cool. In as much as they're indigenous, they're also thought-provoking and somewhat futuristic. It's not too indigenous. It's a mixture and a fusion of a whole lot of things.
Yeah. Well, I think by reimagining the future, we can create it, The song was coming, for me when I write to heal, and I hope that it extends to the listener and whoever sees it. And the point of everything was for you to understand, even if you couldn't hear, you can see and you can understand what the message is about. And Resurrection was about growing up basically in South Africa as a black child, eskoleni, and whether umbala or inwele besikunda makanda or the language, it felt like you could never be African. Like you had to, once you get a eskoleni, usiya erasure, and you have to be kind of like umzulu omnyama, sort of thing. So, and this is the truth we have to face. Like even till today, we're still going through the same things. Yeah, that's a woman going for a job, and I weave. You can't go natural. So it came from that place of constantly being buried. So that's why the grave is in the video. Like those shallow graves. And and the message in that is like, they buried us, but they didn't know we seeds, and at the end we blossomed, and our resurrection came. And sometimes you're born one look but you never know they're preparing you for your resurrection. And in that, I was also saying, hey, asvugen got a black child, asvugen it's not like I'm making it up. If it's happened to me, I'm sure it's happened to millions of others. So that was the thing, like. It's time for Africa to resurrect. It's time for the youth to resurrect, and also for us to be everything we want to be.
100%.
So that's where it came from. Yeah.
Fantastic.
But then also, fun times, because I was like, when we come back, this is going to be our party song.
Yeah, vibe.
So, just play. Yeah,
and that really resonates within your music, because it's a combination. You were saying also, Leni, you were saying that in as much as let ram nali bass le Durban, when you combine it with your lyrics, in as much as lyrics they are conscious and they are about enlightening, they are about healing, but there's the party dance element. You understand?
Actually, you've hit the nail on the head. So, for me, the only reason I found the connection, because I'm Zulu and I grew up around Indlamu, Gakulu. So, Indlamu, sometimes when people, and you're born or whichever, easy gupu, they just open up your spirit and align your chakras, and then you express yourself. So that's where we took it to. And I was just like, if a message is gonna come through, it has to come through when you're feeling good. You have to be feeling free. You have to feel it. It's gupu's calling apart, and that's the correlation with techno with rave. Because when I'm at a rave, we are and you feel free, and you just let yourself go, and you're not conscious of now. It's like an out of body experience. So that's the correlation.
100%. You're talking about frequencies and vibrations. I can pick that up from your music, which you understand the amandla chakra. I thought I was one of the few people who talk about such things. So it's quite interesting to find someone who understands such things. It sounds like, I don't know if how I'm receiving it. Sounds like it's a question to the supreme being, and subsequently lyrics can you please rather break it down for me?
Yeah, okay, but it's normally when miracles happen, because honestly, it's miracles. Angkokelo royal family, angkokelo umuntu. Ngitandane on top of that, so like it's been a lot, it's just things I don't say, because for a long time I've been keeping up a facade, of, because when you come from a certain place, but I can't do that. I'm not that person, and I've gone through a lot before to get here. So sometimes all of you dreamers, we all come from somewhere, and it's a bit more different than imling or tara or whatever. There's something bigger which is within us that we've activated and connected to, that is pushing us to get this far. Because ngangazi ukuthi nami ngiqhamuka emahlabathini ngifike la, that's amangisi, like I didn't think so. Yeah, so I think that's where it comes from. And Tini is about mental health in the black community.
100%.
Because it's also something, I mean, there's nothing worse on the mind than what we went through. Our parents, who helped them, who helped our grandparents, we are carrying so much trauma that we haven't healed from. So I'm so happy mangibona amathwasa and everything happening, because spirituality spirituality is just who we've always been. Spirituality is nature, and that's who Africans always were. Noma sesikhohliwe because of everything that's happened. So it's about that, just bringing that back and trying to heal our families, healing us first. Khona nathi sophila njengalabo abanye abantu, or even more, So.
Yeah. Okay, sinombuzo, but before siya lapho ngoba ama-question ama-deep uleni une something for wena la. Bengifuna ukuhlanganisa because you're talking about healing, where that's healing from when as an artist, because I feel like more artists, you first have to heal so that you can be able to heal abanye abantu ngomculo and conscientize them and make them aware. How did music help you heal from losing your parents and beyond in your experiences as a black person when you were ostracized or bullied, and also understanding our history, understanding what apartheid and colonialism did to us? So, your process, how did music help you? And also, when did the realization and you can use it to heal yourself and also heal the masses and conscientize them?
Yeah, so I'll have to start at the beginning. Pump it on nje. The first song was also about empowerment. Noma ngicula ngesingisi, but it was me letting go of all the things that were oppressing me. What I found in music is a place of expression. For a black girl, there hasn't been a place of expression. I've been shy all my life, literally. So music allowed me that space. I can express myself. I felt like I exist. And through that existing, I was healing, I was meeting people and addressing my pain. Once you address what you're going through, you heal it because you take it out. We have to say these things, and affirm. I get to the power of manifestation. The ulimo is very powerful. Watch what you say to yourself, especially in your mind, because that's what your body will go to, and that's where your future will go. So it's all been just visualizations and manifestations. So yeah, it's very powerful. And because we were talking about chakras, since I'll say I get the base chakra, that takes in all the enjoyment, whether it's sexual, music, all that. And what we are being programmed with, I'm not gonna lie, isn't a paramisai. If they only gonna call it, I don't know if I can even say those words, great or what danger. Yeah, but if they're just gonna be only pulled down and I'm not saying we can't have a good time. I love a good booty song. I'm not even gonna lie, but it's just nice. Yeah, it's just nice to see they've opened a bit of space for people like myself as well. I'm not always on the booty track, but I've just got something else to say. And I really believe in my heart that these things align your chakras. I really do, because we are higher beings. Yeah, but when you're living in your lower chakra, it's like you're living in your lower self. Like you're not getting to the point where on the third eye and you're not connected to your entire creation, because we're bigger than what we're just seeing, but let me not go too deep. So you can see it on a podcast.
Yeah. Lefuni podcast ngiyakuzwa vele mina now so deep sikhuluma ngama chakras nama vibrations. Athi stete uleni uphethe umbuzo nyano ngathi umnandinya.
So yesterday I posted that we're going to be having you on the show, and there's somebody who really, really loves you. She had like a few questions to ask you. I'm just going to play the voice note.
Okay, Sislin.
I'm just going to play the voice note for you. Here we go.
Okay.
But I wonder what it's like for a superstar of her caliber to come back into the music scene, particularly the South African music scene, when there has been so many changes. At the time, Toya was still the thing, and I used to be a very big fan, especially of her fashion sense. It was very colorful and just very loud. I wonder what it's like for her to make that transition, because so much has changed. Right now, hip-hop is not exactly the quote-unquote in thing, right? We've got amapiano now. So anybody that wants to do anything needs to fuse that with Amapiano. Is she willing to do that? And I think she's done a great job building her brand globally. So is that something she's willing to give up in order to fit into this model, of change that currently exists? And I'd also like to know how does she feel about the whole advent of social media? Because at the time, she was still popular. It was a time when we relied heavily on mainstream media. So we relied on magazines, print media, which is slowly dying out. We relied heavily on radio. We relied heavily on television shows, gossip shows and whatever. So how is she looking to also, reinvent and reintroduce herself back into South Africa using social media? I can't wait. I honestly cannot wait to listen to her interview.
Yeah, that's about it.
Oh, that's incredible. Sisla, thank you for the question. Who was the lady?
It's Slu. She's a very big fan of yours.
Slu. Oh, great. Thank you, Slu, for the question. Okay, so am I willing to fit in? I've never fit in anywhere. I create space. So I will create with the elements that are there. And and I think if she listens to Afro Rave Volume 1, she'll see that those elements are there because what I'm using are elements of my own culture, just blended with the world that I'm in, but as we said, Indlamu, basically at the heart of it, so, and Amapiano, of course, Amapiano is banging. I'm already working with, even here in the UK, there's a lady from Ghana called KG, and I'm on her song and I'm singing in Zulu. It's never been done, so the song is playing like all over now. In the UK, it's pretty exciting. So the possibilities are endless. So it's not about forgetting who you are. It's about sharing who you are. And I think that will be a way for me to re-enter the scene, just to show who there's nothing really different. I'm still a child of the soil. And I think that should be enough.
Wow, profound.
And then she asked the question about, okay, so social media. She's so right about the socials. When we were out, there was nothing like that, like my Twitter, Instagram, like now things are boiling, but I've learned, all this time I've learned, the how to communicate online. Sometimes I've flopped, but I connect to people a lot. I speak a lot to my fans, especially on Facebook and just my point is to make sure that my fans know they are loved by me, because they are. They are really all I have in a way. Because if it wasn't for them, and they love me, they communicate with me, they tell me. I think that's the relationship. It needs to be a human relationship. I've gone through Xitra, and it's the most horrible thing, You can't treat people like they don't exist. So I do my best to respond and stay connected, and that alone has helped me keep my pulse on the culture. And my favorite music right now, I'm a piano. So so I think it's Hambangolai.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what I love about Toya, especially throughout this interview, is that she just drops gems and jewels and she just keeps it moving. She didn't say something so profound, so deep. She just continues in
Oh. Oh man, I'm so glad that this conversation has been something of substance. Because these days there's lots of talk, but sometimes those words don't lead to the transformation that your words used to have back in the day. And I'm finding that power in indigenous language. Our languages, have so much power. I think a friend of mine, we were making an example. What was it? Uptongo. Namatonga, but I don't know if I can go there. It's like
you can't sneak
it's deep, but it's just one of those things. There's so many signs and things they left with us. Or umkati neskati, because space and time is the same thing. So iskati, nomkati. Iskati is time, umkati is space. So our ancestors, is just erasure and I'm hoping we can work to fix that, because school doesn't mean we have to be erased from being proudly African or whichever culture we are, you know. We can still be proudly African and educated. So, hey, kuning, sidinga ukusebenza nje. Basically.
100%. No, Sibonga, ngiyezwa mawukhuluma uhlathulula izinto ukuthi you've studied a lot of African epistemology, abantu njengomkhulu owasedlula, the late ubaba Credo Muthu avusa amaZulu, ngoba uyayichaza lento yakhe yomkhathi nesikhathi, and it's important to see umuntu njengawe, especially with so much influence in the culture, at the forefront of the culture, kumculo, ukuthi umuna lolwazi, you're able to pass it on, especially with now you're abroad, you're able to educate people abroad and also beyond, nalaba ekhaya, ngoba into ekhona ukuthi even still here at home, we still like a lot of knowledge and understanding, and to see an artist who embraces the indigenous language, who embraces the truth, the African sciences, and also even the modern times, ngoba as I said, you're eclectic, you're a fusion of iyonkinto. Siyakujabulela lokho kakhulu.
But thank you, and it's just so refreshing to know Guzi now we're like you're on the wave, you know, like I'm not alone. It was baningi, so I can't wait to have another conversation with you at some point, you guys, at some point again. Because honestly, I was just today. Sometimes I get these moments where you realize, actually, Western civilization, how you can because everything. Talk about Pythagoras, Socrates, all of them bafundiswa in Africa. So basically, it's plagiarism of African knowledge. So yonke intila, and once we realize that, we'll respect so much where we come from, and the land will bless us with knowledge as well. So, if I can help the youth wake up, that's what I can say. Our life is ahead of us. It's not behind us, and that is our power.
Sibonga kakhulu.
So it's up to us.
Sesikuthathele nesikhathi esiningi and we are yet to even bake.
You have to beg.
Okay, so Chiya ngombuzo ogcina ukuthi obviously subsequently you'll say your words of wisdom in parting, but ngifuna ukubuza ukuthi your favorite song ku latest project, the Afro Raven, also where can people get umculo wakho? Obviously I understand, maybe obviously ukhona kuma streams, because mina my favorite song imali, ngoba vele ngifuna ukuyikhandela imali.
Hey. Yeah, imali, it's about the monetization of religion. Because monetization of gratitude, rather, because everybody's got their way of thanking the universe.
Yes.
They monetized it. You know, when the kingdom is inside, you know. So all the topics are deep, guys. I can't wait for you to check it out. Just go online. Because it feels like all outlets are closed. I asked my team, what about people that want to CD? So music uvaliwe. So I think if you just go online, iTunes, Spotify, go on my Facebook page or go on my Twitter, on my Instagram page. It's Toya Delazy, Toya Delazy, and if you click on the Orchard link there of my Afro album, you'll just be able to stream it. Or you can go to SoundCloud as well. You'll also be able to listen. So, yeah.
That's cool. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah. Till we meet again. What's up?
Sharp. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Wow, yeah, that was Toya Delazy. What a profound conversation we had. We even took so much time, but it was necessary. Very necessary.
It was. I feel like you and her need a podcast.
We definitely.
I think this conversation should go beyond I think